Life Unlimited Coaching channel. This is Coach Kayla, and I had somebody ask me the other day, Kayla, how do you stay so consistent with your workouts? And it took me a minute to respond because I didn't really know how to answer the question, because it made me think about how long I've been consistent with my workouts, which has been pretty long. In fact, I checked my app this morning, this is just since I've started working with the coach that I'm currently working with. And for that, I would say I've been more consistent since hiring them. And since hiring them, I hired them in February of 2021. So I've been working with them for a little over 2 years now, and I've completed 422 workouts. And I usually had about 3 to 4, sometimes 5 workouts a week scheduled in there. And that's not counting like days that I walked or ran or whatever when it wasn't in their program. And so I would say, but before that I was pregnant, and that's a whole nother story, but I've always been pretty consistent with my workouts. And there's probably a few reasons for that. But I mean, I've always been active. I learned early on that if I didn't stay active in some way, shape, or form, that it really affected my mental health. I learned that in college, kind of. I learned that in a roundabout way. I think I've told that story before. But if you want to hear that story, comment below and say, "Hey, I want to hear that story," because I am happy to share it again. So when they ask me that, is how do you stay so consistent? And there's a few different factors that I think play into it. And I have talked about the 3 things that you need to be consistent before, right? I've talked about you need certainty, you need clarity, and you need high level support. Those are the 3 things that you need to be consistent with anything. And motivation can exist, it doesn't have to exist. But those are the 3 things that I believe you need to be consistent with whatever you're trying to accomplish. Okay. And so I talked about that, but then it helped me realize that sometimes we think success or something like that happens overnight, right? Like all of a sudden, I just started working out consistently. And it does feel like that because there was an event that happened and it was like a decision was made, and then I just started working out consistently. But really, what actually happened was the pain of staying the same and not being where I wanted to be from like a fitness standpoint or a body composition standpoint. It suddenly became bigger than the pain of doing the workout or changing. Does that make sense? Or so it like was the catalyst to move me forward to actually change. And I think for most people, that's how it happens. It's not one decision, it's all of these little decisions. And then one day you wake up and all of it's been built up to that point. So it feels like it's overnight, but it's really like 6 months of buildup and pain and suffering and trying to figure it out, right? And even with all of that being said, I'm still not perfect. Okay. I don't actually miss workouts. Like that's something I'm actually really like. If my coach has a workout scheduled for me, I complete it. But I think it's because of the high level support. I think it's because of the certainty and the clarity. It has nothing to do with like I'm amazing and everyone should be like me. It's more like I'm pretty sure it's those things. Okay. Um, but from like a nutrition standpoint or like just an overall Kayla going towards your goals standpoint, I'm not perfect, and you shouldn't expect yourself to be perfect. And it has taken me since I've like consistently dove into nutrition and how it works, and I've used myself as an experiment and all that stuff. So I would say since 2018, I think that's kind of when I started really going heavy on it with myself. Um, so it's been a 5-year journey, and I'm still not perfect. I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to adjust, learning how to add things in, learning how to take things out, all of this stuff. And so it really bothers me when people think that they can just go find this information on Google. It's true. You could sift through all of the crap. But I've been doing it as a professional for 5 years and I'm still learning stuff. And I'm not learning from Google. I am learning from direct professionals all of the time and from my own experience with clients. Like you can't, so when people are trying to figure it out on their own, it's really frustrating to me because it's next to impossible. Anyway, that was a tangent. So the question was, how do you stay so consistent? You need those three things: certainty, clarity, and support. And I've already talked about that. But what I wanted to hammer home today was that what needs to happen really for people to have an overnight change is the pain of staying the same has to be bigger than the pain of change. That's it. That's what happens. There's a lot of times that I get on calls with people and they're just not ready to change. They're not. They're good just kind of meandering for a while and trying to figure it out on their own, or doing something that they did before with the likelihood of it being a failure, but they don't really care because it's not big enough yet. And then as soon as it gets big enough, then they have to make a change, and it is overnight, but it's not because it's been built up for so long. Does that make sense? And that's okay. That's okay. And it's also okay to understand that that's probably what happened. When I started working out consistently, it was overnight, but not really. It had built up to that point. And then I got in the habit, and now I can't imagine not doing it. Like I'm going on vacation next week and I'm already thinking like, oh, where's the nearest gym? Like it's that much of a priority that I have to put it in somewhere. And everyone can get to that point. If I can do it, you can do it. So it's just figuring out how to change your mindset to where it's like brushing your teeth. You wouldn't go on vacation and not brush your teeth. So it feels the same to me. Anyway, hopefully this is valuable. Kind of a quick video this week. I have kind of a funny one planned for you next week. So hopefully you enjoy it. We're also, it's going to be a busy week, but it's going to be fun. So have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.